Hey guys, today we'll be doing a oil change on a 2019 Chevy Suburban LT, and pretty much from 2015 to 2019 they're pretty much the same way, same style. So I'm gonna use the Castro fully synthetic 0W20, and they want you to use the Dexo. So it also shows it on the cap, which is right here. Let me pop the hood. And you see on the cap Dexo, you gotta use the Dexo 0W20. That's what these Chevys take. So the Suburban takes 8 quarts. I went ahead and bought 10 because it's just a better deal. I'm gonna use the whole 5, and I'll be using 3 out of this one right here. Also got the air filter, which is a 1590 size for most GM trucks, so this one would fit my Suburban. And I got the oil filter, which is ultra synthetic, 20,000 mile protection. Paid about $9 for this, but you know, it gives it better protection, you know, so I went ahead and purchased that. I'm also going to use a oil stabilizer, because oil alone is not enough. It's supposed to extend the engine life, so I like to use these on my vehicles. Make the engine run a lot better in the oil, you know, a lot smoother. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that also. This is 1 quart. I don't think it says it on there. 946 milliliters. So go ahead and compare it to another quart that I have. 946. So yeah, it's about a quart. It's a quart. I'll be using, got my gloves here. Also, I'll be using for the bolt down there, it's a 15 millimeter socket, and that's the one that you need to loosen up plug down there to empty out the oil. I'll be using that. I also purchased this large adjustable oil filter wrench. I've never used it, so we're gonna go ahead and try it. I purchased it, so we'll see how it works out. I've always done it by hand, but we're gonna go ahead and test it out once we're down there. See how this bad boy works. So, purchase that. Also, you're gonna need oil pan. Since there's 8 quarts in there, this one's the capacity of 16 quarts, which is more than enough to hold what we're gonna use it for. So I went ahead and used my floor jack. I got my jack stands under there. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my jack stands, so that way it's easier to get access down there. Alright guys, this is your oil plug right here. That's where I'll be draining the oil from. And then your oil filter is right next to it right here. This is where I'll be replacing the oil filter from. And we'll go from there. Kind of want to pull the plug quick before the oil shoots all over you. So right about there. And then just let the oil drain out, which take about a couple minutes, but you want all the oil to drain out. Alright guys, it's been about a little over 5 minutes. I let it drain out already. I'm going to go ahead and put the bolt back in. Make sure you do not cross thread this. You want to put it in straight, make sure it goes nice and smooth. there. And then we're gonna get our socket. That way it's nice and tight and sealed. Just hand tight, that's not too bad. Also, you want to clean up any loose oil around it. I got this old rag here, just so it's not all dirty and gunky. All right, guys, now I got the filter to come loose. So I'm gonna pull it out so I can empty out the oil. Now on this one, I wanted to show you guys something. It was really hard to take off. I tried that tool, which did not work. And I was trying it by hand. So what I had to do is, I had to get these channel locks right here. Basically crush it. I had to basically crush it and twist it off. That was the only way I was able to loosen this. Came from factory. That came so tight, but I couldn't take it off by hand. Couldn't use that tool. I tried using my other handy dandy tool over here, which did not work either. I'll show you right now. Give me a sec. I tried using this one. This one kept slipping on me. So maybe I didn't get the right size. This one did not work. I had to just crush this bad boy and loosen it up. So now it's loose. We're gonna empty it out. Right about here. And then kind of want to make it quick so you won't get dirty, and just let it drain out into your oil pan right there. Just let it drain out for about a couple minutes. All right, guys, now I'm gonna put the oil filter on. What I like to do before I put it on to get it a good seal, you kind of want to put a little bit of oil around the rim there, just so it gets a nice seal on. You put it back in there. You'll get a nice tight seal. I usually just go hand tight. About right there. Then before you jack your car down, before you let it come down, you kind of want to wipe everything down. You don't want to have oil all over the place. Then you'll think you have an oil leak or something. You don't want that. So just kind of wipe down all around where oil spilled. Kind of keep it clean. I think I got it all. Alrighty, all set. All right, guys, now air filter's in here, so I'm gonna go ahead. It's just a Phillips screwdriver. Has 4 bolts on it. I just want to take them off to loosen up bolts so you could get access to your air filter. Here. Where's the other one? Right here. Some of these bolts kind of tight, trying to get in these tight spaces in here. There's 3, we just need 1 more. Careful not to damage any hoses while doing this. Hard to see. Gotta get this cover off. Alright, so I notice I cannot access my filter from here because of this bar here. So what you want to do is you're probably going to loosen it just to get it out of the way so you have access to your filter. So I took this off. We're gonna go ahead and slide. Oh, by the way, this bowl is a 10mm socket for this. So you're gonna use a 10mm for this one. I'm gonna pull this to the side. Access your air filter, which is really not that bad, but we're gonna go ahead and change it out anyways since it's first time doing this on this vehicle. That's the difference right there. Dirty, clean. Right now. So go ahead and slide it back in. This back. Now make sure you be careful with these hoses here and these wires, so don't disconnect anything. Go ahead and put this back in. Do it by hand. Okay, here we Perfect. Now I'm going to add the oil inside. Make sure you have your funnel ready. Grab my oil here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the whole 5 quarts on this one. Make sure all your oil goes in so you don't spill none out. So on the next one, this Suburban takes a total of 8 quarts. So I put the 5 in. This one has another 5, but I'm only gonna use 2 of this one because towards the end, the 8th quart will be my Lucas oil stabilizer. So on this one, we want to kind of measure from here. You'll see the liters and the quarts. So it's a total of 5. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it at 3, which would be down here. 3 quarts. So that way I'm using 2 quarts of this. Go ahead and check it, see where we're at. I've used about 1 quart, so I need to use 1 more to get it to 3. That's close enough. Okay, so I've used about 2 quarts in here. So it gives it a total of 7 quarts. Now, I will do the last quart with the oil stabilizer, which will make it a total of 8 quarts. Just to give it a little bit longer, smoother ride on the engine. This one comes out kind of thick, so you kind of want to squeeze the bottle as you're pouring it into the funnel. Takes a little while for it to go down the funnel, but it eventually does, just because it's so thick. It does take a little while because, like I said, the stabilizer is thicker than the oil. It's taking a little while for it to go in there. Alright guys, I guess that bottle's about empty there. That's as much we're gonna get out of that, so we'll save this. Make sure everything drips in there. All good. Don't forget to put your cap back on. Make sure it's on there. All set. Alright guys, now we're just gonna check our dipstick here. Make sure it's at the proper levels since we just filled it up with the oil. It'll show you there. Cold and hot, but we got plenty of oil in there, so we're good to go. All right guys, now you're gonna want to turn on your car, but you're gonna want to scroll down here and look for your oil. See, oil life remaining 11%. So you're gonna go ahead and to reset that, you're gonna go ahead and, you see a little check mark right there? You're gonna go ahead and press it and hold it, and it should reset it. So now it's back at 100. All right guys, one last thing before we go. I have this fuel injector that I always put in my vehicles. Now what I usually do, I fuel it up, and then while it's full, after it's full, I dump this in there. Some people like to dump this in there while your tank is empty and then fuel it so it mixes in there. I don't know, you guys be the judge on that. Leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think about that, but I do use these on my vehicles. And that's gonna be it for today, so thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.